Welcome back, everybody, to an emergency broadcast of the JodoCast system. I'm Evan. I've got
Leo right here next to him in person.
In the same screen, and it's not a trick. We're not mashing the video together or anything. That would be cool, though.
and this guy.
Hey, it's me.
Yes,
it is you.
Kurt is
Hey, guy.
and no one's with me. I'm just alone.
Yeah.
So, what's the big emergency? Well, it's an election season. But aside from that, we're at Gen-Con, Leo and I, and for the first time since 2019, we have had the blessed opportunity to attend the Fantasy Flight Games in-flight report. I don't know why my voice is doing this thing, but it is.
It was even way better than the old ones because this time they were like, hey, we know you guys. Come sit up in the VIP section.
Ooh.
So we were like right behind Steve Horvath when we sat there.
Yes, we were.
Wow.
And got to say hi to the developers who actually recognize us and say nice things about us. And it's just like, oh my.
Yes. Plus, we can talk about the press event last night too.
Yes, we can talk about last night in conjunction with this morning.
So, they started off the in-flight report with a bunch of, stuff.
Yes, a bunch of stuff.
Yeah, I mean, it's fine. It's cool stuff, but also, whatever.
Other games, non-Star Wars.
More, basically, there was more Marvel Champions. Actually, I was surprised by that Marvel Champions a little bit for reasons we'll talk about here in a little bit.
Oh, yes. Yes, that is important.
And they said, well, more Arkham Horror. That's no surprise.
Yeah, well, specifically Arkham Horror, the card game, because it is the best version of Arkham Horror that they've ever made, in my humble opinion. I think in a lot of people's opinion, it's the best version of Arkham Horror.
Yeah, I mean, I love the board game, but God, does it take like 3 hours to set that thing up before you can play it?
Yeah.
And then I think, so they did that stuff, blah, blah, blah.
Oh, Twilight Imperium. They mentioned.
Yeah, they were like, here's a picture of a planet. If you know a lot about Twilight Imperium lore, you might get excited. If not, oh well.
Was the crowd going crazy? Were they into it?
No, everyone. It was pretty silent during this. Well, I mean, he was all like, "We're doing stuff with Twilight Imperium," and people were like, "Yay!" And he's all like, "But I can't tell you about it yet." And then people were like, "Oh."
He did say if you're a lore nerd on Twilight Imperium, that you would know what they were showing you, and no one was like doing the Leonardo DiCaprio at it. But you know what? Hey, for all those Twilight Imperium fans out there, what you got was way more than the Descent people got. So
he's been bitter about this all day long.
It's my new flip box. I need a new one. Now that I like MCP.
Yeah, now that he's decided he likes Marvel Crisis Protocol and can't complain about that. No, it was really interesting seeing Jim Cartwright up there.
As the boss.
Kind of expanded role.
Yeah, so it wasn't just Unlimited we saw he was there talking about. He did the entire thing, all except for the Gamegenic portion of the presentation. Otherwise, it was all just Jim Cartwright.
He even got spooked by a horror from Arkham.
Yeah, that was weird.
Yeah. It was
Okay.
It worked. I did like, so first some guy like in a mask like slowly walks out on stage as he's talking about Arkham Horror, and then Jim like pretends to be surprised as he sees him, and he's all like, "Ooh, no, okay, I'm gonna move over here to the other side of the stage." Then continues talking about the Arkham Horror card game, and then the masked man continues to come up to him until finally he like touches Jim on the shoulder. And at that point, Jim Cartwright did jump about a foot in the air, and then he like stepped away from the masked guy. And he's all like, "I actually really did forget that part was going to happen."
That was very good. That was very good. And he has such a effusive personality, anyways, that he makes even stuff that could be like, oh, they were trying to be cute, into something that is fun.
Yeah. It was less cringe than some, like scripted moments you see in these kind of panels. Then it was better than your average like video
Oscar.
game awards.
Yeah, or video game awards, even better. Yes. It's an excellent example.
So yeah, then we finally get to Star Wars.
Yes.
First thing we talk about, extremely cool, is, well, we knew there's an expansion coming for the deck builder game, the Clone Wars expansion. What we did not know until, well, for us, we actually found out about this last night at the Asmodee press event, is it's not going to be just this one expansion. The deck builder is going to be a continuing line.
Yes.
It's, it was way more popular than they thought it was going to be. And
they kept reiterating that when they made it, they were content with the idea of it being a single release. Like, they loved it and they hoped everybody else would enjoy it too, but it blew up.
Yeah. So
that's great.
So in response to that, they actually took one of the we were talking with Alicia, who's one of the Asmodee marketing manager, right? Yes, she's the marketing manager. She was telling us that they took one of the lead designers off of Marvel Champions and put them onto the deck builder, and that's like their thing now. They're just doing more deck builder expansions. So honestly, I was when we heard about more Marvel Champions, when I first heard that we took one of the main Marvel Champions guys to deck builder, I was like, oh, okay, are they winding that down now? Apparently not. They're still going to be pumping that out. But yeah, and it's they've got a full team for this game now. This one expansion comes out here at the end of the month, and another nice thing, I haven't had a chance to look at them yet, but we do get updated multiplayer rules now with this, which is very cool. Because
I doubt it's up yet, but the multiplayer rules, enhanced multiplayer rules, are supposed to be up before Clone Wars launches.
Yeah.
Okay, makes sense.
But yeah, it's because frankly the old multiplayer rules or the existing multiplayer rules are not great.
A little basic, yeah.
And it was fortuitous that we played it back in February.
Yeah, we got a chance to try it. We were like, I mean, it's still fun, but it's, you just sit down.
It was a little tacked on, and
yeah.
It was. It literally was. They were like, we put it in there. We got room. Do it.
Yeah, basically. So we didn't get to see a whole lot more of the game itself. They were mostly just announcing, hey, this is coming out and expect more in the future, which, I think is fantastic news. I've really liked the game. It's going to be, it's going to be its own standalone thing, but it can also be combined in with the original game. So, and I think it sounds like that's how each set is going to be. Maybe, I don't think they didn't really specify.
That would make sense, but
they did not specify. But it's not impossible for them to release just small module packs, which is exactly what they're doing currently with Arkham Horror. You can buy the big box expansions, or you can buy a self-contained scenario like this winter Winter Ball Gala.
the Winter Gala
Mhm.
or whatever it's
Yeah,
called. Yeah,
Winter Death Gala. I don't know.
I could see them kind of starting with these standalone expansions that are like kind of obvious, like different eras, but then start changing it up and trying completely different types of expansions too if they're like really investing in it. So
like Star Realms has a bunch of like and actually I kind of hated how Star Realms did this. It was neat that you could get just little like booster packs. I mean, they weren't randomized. Every pack had the same cards in them, but they had like so many different ones that it was hard to remember like which one of these packs have I bought and which ones do I still need to
sure.
add the new stuff to my game.
That's kind of it for the deck building game.
Yeah,
now.
Yeah, for now. I am hoping. I hope I can get over to their booth and squeeze in a demo with the new game. If not, otherwise we did try to request a review copy to see if we can get some games played and something out before the end of the month when it releases here. So
it's worth mentioning that at the press event last night, deck building game did not have a table because they had to, share the space, and it was a smallish space. It was for, the one or two people for each game, showing them off, and then quite a few. I mean, actually, I don't know how many few. Quite a few, only a few press people. How many? What would you say?
I mean,
attended.
It's hard to say because, like I said, there was like when we went in, right? Like we were there when the doors opened. It was like a 2-hour long event or so. We went in right when the doors opened. There was probably 20 of us, 30 of us at most. I don't know. But at the same time, like when we left, there was still like, I don't know, like a half hour left in the event, but there were still people coming in for the first time. So other press people who were just getting in to go to it for the first time. So
it was kind of open ended. It wasn't really a finite
they didn't have like a presentation or anything like that to give us. It was more just all like they had they had the product, they had some of the games had designers there. Like we talked with Tyler and Danny from Unlimited for a little bit.
Nice.
Corey and Josh.
Yeah, Corey and Josh.
We talked with them
actually
a bit.
Especially Josh. We really talked with Josh a whole bunch from the Mandalorian game. Like Simone was there.
She came over to us to say hi.
Then they were showing off Shatterpoint. They didn't have like there were not Schick or Pagani or
Ross Thompson was there.
Yeah, he's a marketing guy.
So it's definitely a marketing event.
Yeah. Marketing, it was more of a PR kind of thing, but we still got to talk to some of the guys. I guess it was really interesting. We got to talk to Josh, who was like one of the co-designers on The Mandalorian. It was really interesting to hear from him about how that's actually his first game he's ever designed. This was his first job in the industry, period.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, he got the job at Unexpected Games. Now he didn't really say, but the way he talked, it sounded like he was hired on in a different position, but ended up contributing to the design of Mandalorian enough that as time went on, when he said Corey Kineska is all like, hey, this has become your thing just as much. We got to get you like a co-creator credit on this. We got to get your name on the box too.
That's cool. So that's Josh Bepler, and the box says game designed by Corey Kineska with Josh Bepler.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's cool though.
His first project, and his name's on the box.
That's awesome.
So Alicia was walking around with the box of Clone Wars deck building game in her hand and just, talking with people as she's moving around and sharing the glory of the Star Wars deck building game.
Yeah, just showing off the box. She didn't open it and pull out any cards.
But she talked to us all about it.
Yeah. And they had they also did have Star Wars the Bounty Hunters game on display, but they just had like
well, it was next to the other game that you were very interested in.
They had Survive there, which is a really cool game. I love that game. But they had they just had like someone there for demoing it.
Yeah.
Really, they didn't. It wasn't like one of the design or anything was there for that one. But yeah, so I mean, overall, that was a cool like little thing just to get to sit down and talk to him. Simone was showing off her trophy. That
she didn't bring the trophy with her.
AMG's trophy. Yeah, she had a picture on her phone that they won from Jodo Cast for Game of the Year last year.
She was telling Josh, like, you're going to have to fight me for next year's trophy, Josh.
So, but yeah, now back to the in-flight report again.
So,
which is,
we just wanted to talk about Deck Builder some more because, we were really excited to hear what we did. So, back to in-flight. We've kind of been, not trying to bury the lead too much because now it's unlimited time.
Limited time.
All right. So, did you get to watch the stream?
I did not. I had work meetings all morning.
I will say that is one nice thing that they did this year that they have not always done in the past was they did actually stream the event themselves.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. We didn't have to do it for them. Gold Squadron didn't have to do it for them.
Yeah.
So you stayed off the internet entirely, right, for the whole rest of the day so that we could share with you.
And you're going to be completely surprised with everything we tell you.
I mean, I definitely was scrolling through all the tweets on Twitter during my meeting since cameras weren't on. So
good man,
getting that much info at least.
So I mean, obviously they showed off Twilight of the Republic. That's the next set coming out. At the beginning we got a little teaser. We saw some artwork. We saw some really cool battle droid artwork.
That we saw later.
Yeah. We eventually see that form. As a playmat too, which is going to be a sick playmat.
That's pretty good. Honestly, it kind of beats any of the previous Stormtrooper playmats that FFG had released years ago. We got some notorious villains, and we got our first look at, well, not necessarily the first look, our first legal look at some of the new cards and new leaders.
Yeah, so we saw Ahsoka and Grievous. They're going to be our starter set leaders. We saw Anakin. They showed off a Coruscant guard, clone trooper, battle droid escort, a commando droid, and I think we saw a Hailfire tank was. The 332nd guy, clone trooper, and I think there was a Hailfire tank in there also.
Oh, is that it right there?
No, that's the clone commando. You might.
I think it was all the same stuff from the article that they posted right after it too.
Yeah. So there is an article out now with some nice, clearer images than our tweets are of some of that stuff.
But ours are authentic and artisanal.
Yes, and in the moment.
That's right. In media res.
Yeah, so I think a couple interesting things to note that we learned from this is, we saw the coordinate ability on several different characters, which is basically, or the coordinate keyword, which is basically when you have 3 or more units, when you control 3 or more units, their coordinate ability comes in or activates.
And there's a bunch of different ones, like there's like passive stat bonuses or Ahsoka's leader side gives her an extra action she can do,
Yeah.
or some like one of them gives them ambush from their coordinates, so stuff
Yeah.
like that.
The 332nd clone trooper is really interesting because he actually nerfs himself with the coordinate, but he only costs one. He only costs one resource to play, so you can play him right. So he's really good at the beginning of the game because you can get him out at just one resource and still have one more resource for something else, another 332nd or whatever. But once you get that second, or once you get that third unit out, then he stinks because he gets -1/-1 as his coordinate. So yeah, so
sure, isn't it a +1/+1? Am I crazy?
No, huh?
Yeah,
What?
that's what I was wondering.
The image is a little
am I
fuzzy
really-
to me, honestly, but
Yeah,
Those
you're
are
right.
pluses.
It is plus. Wow, my eyes are.
You want to try my glasses?
I think
honestly
it's
a little
just,
fuzzy,
I think
but-
it's just because we went to the distillery right before this.
That's true. We did. That's on
So-
me.
Okay, so
it does just
there we
get
go.
buffed up as it coordinates, which just kind of makes sense. They're kind of stronger in a big squad.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I wonder if we will see some stuff like you just said, where they do get a negative. I could definitely see them playing with that.
Oh, sure. That's a thing that
We just
could
haven't
happen.
seen that many yet. There's like 4 or so that have coordinate, and so far the only coordinate ones they've shown, I believe, have been the Republic ones. Maybe we'll see it too with the droids, but the droids seem to have different synergy where it's like, when you have another droid unit or give a bonus to
I
another
could
droid unit,
see.
stuff
I
like
could
that.
see. Like maybe like a droid commander, like a Kalani or a Kraken or something, having coordinate.
Yeah, I could see that for sure.
Yeah. The other keyword that we've finally learned what it does, and this is the one that's on. It's on the Hailfire tank, and we've already seen it on the Asajj that's in the convention exclusive pack of cards, which I did not get any of today. So.
Yet. Not
But
today.
yeah, this
So we'll see.
is the first
Better luck
time.
Maybe not today. Maybe not tomorrow.
Better luck tomorrow.
This is the first time we've seen the actual text for what that keyword means, since none of
Yeah.
that text was on the Asajj, the special
Yeah.
Asajj.
And so basically it's just when you play them, you can sacrifice X number of units, whatever the number is on your exploit. And then for each one that you did sacrifice, that you defeated, not sacrificed. Sacrificing is magic. Yeah, for each one that you defeated, the unit costs 2 less to play. So like Asajj, you could play for free since she has exploit 2. That Hailfire tank has exploit 2 also, but it costs 8, but you can reduce it down to 4 possibly.
Yeah,
And-
that'd be a big 4-cost unit coming out, which would be kind of crazy.
Yeah.
7/6.
So what's and do correct me if I'm wrong about this, but a new token. It is a new token, right? That we're getting in the form
Yeah.
of the droid token.
Yes,
Yeah,
the battle
two-
droid
two-
and the clone trooper tokens.
Yeah, token units, the first ones we've seen, which these are going to be obviously an ideal way to trigger stuff like coordinate or exploit, because you have these extra units out there that are
Yep.
like essentially free bonus units. They're like a 0 cost since they're a token, and they're 1/1 in the case of battle droid, or 2/2 in the case of the clone trooper, but they generally get created by other units' special abilities, like Captain Rex, when played, create 2 clone trooper tokens. Let's see, the Magna Guard General's Guardian, when this unit is attacked, create a battle droid token.
That's just what I was looking for. I knew I'd seen it. I couldn't remember which one it was. I thought it was Grievous, but yeah, when it's attacked, create a droid token.
Yeah.
So
Which-
you can.
If you
but
set it up right,
Grievous-
if you're like giving shields to it, using Grievous to give it Sentinel, you could make
Yep.
it get attacked a lot and generate a lot of free 1/1 guys. They're
Yeah,
only
and then stack
1/1.
them for exploit.
Yeah, if you just sacrifice them for that, like that could be a really great use. Get out a big unit for like extremely cheap, because you don't care about getting rid of these tokens. So That could be big.
One kind of interesting thing is I noticed the droid and the clone tokens are both numbered 1 of 2 and 2 of 2. So that means there's going to be no shield or experience tokens in this set. It seems like.
Interesting.
So
that would imply that they wouldn't have any shield or XP abilities.
Well,
otherwise you'd think they would want to include them for people playing straight out of the set only. Am I wrong on that?
Oh.
Yeah, well, I mean, there's nothing that says that when you put an experience or a shield token on a character, it has to be, one of those cards. I mean, you could just throw pennies and dimes on your cards as tokens if you wanted. I mean, like Magic has tons of tokens for things now, but for the first 20 years of its existence, it had no printed tokens. It's just you used dice or little glass beads or coins or whatever. So yeah, I don't necessarily think that this means that we won't be seeing shields and experience in this set, but we might definitely be seeing them to a lesser degree than we have had in the first 2 sets.
But yeah, the obvious guess here would be that the 2 token units are what we'll see on the back of all the bases now. So that's how you'll get all these extra token cards you want to spawn.
We can see a much better, I should say, much cleaner look at Anakin on the website.
Than you got in the...
Yeah, it was in the trailer.
Yeah, it was a quick... Yeah, they flew past...
Zooming past.
On their trailer, yeah. And yeah, they never put any of the other cards up later for you to get a better look at during the presentation, other than Grievous and Ahsoka.
Yeah, they had places to be, so they had a lot to get through. In fairness, they did have a lot to get through.
Yeah, so I mean, all the cards look cool. I think it's like they've kind of always done at the beginning. These are all just going to be starter deck cards. Or I mean, they're not all necessarily S rarity, but they are all going to be the cards that are in the starter decks.
Looking more closely, some of them definitely are S rarity too, though.
Yeah.
Just taking a quick look, the 332nd is, Anakin is, and Rex is.
Coruscant Guard is not. Yeah, it's just a common.
The Magna Guard is. The Commando is. The tank is not. The Battle Droid Escort is. So a lot of these were the S rarity, which is interesting.
Yeah. Of course, yeah, but not all. But like I said, this should all be starter deck cards, regardless of rarity.
This is all that we have so far.
So yeah, so that means this time we're going to be getting Heroism's going to be getting a Aggression command deck, and the villains gets a Cunning. Is it a Cunning command?
Yeah, he's a Cunning commander.
Yep. So that means,
wow.
Yeah, so the starter decks for the villains are 3 for 3 on command.
Yeah, this is not too bad. These are all instant. Turn 1 draft instant grab for me.
Except they won't be in any drafts.
Well, no, I know, but
the course I
know that level of quality. Yeah.
Well, they'll be in when you build a cube. As I'm telling everybody, you're bored, build a cube.
I mean, personally, I thought these cards all looked really cool. They're very thematic. All the synergy for the 2 factions makes a lot of sense, but they're not built the exact same way. Just based off a few cards, they seem like very different play styles from what we've seen. You know, if you're taking the time to put all these tokens out and set up these synergies, it's like a little slower or more actions on average than a lot of the aggro decks we see currently, or especially set one. So
Mhm.
there'll be a very different playstyle where it seems like you build up these big armies with a ton of synergies if your opponent lets you, and that all makes thematic sense. So that's cool.
Yeah, it's also going to
Great
be
art on all these too, by the way.
where you might see a little bit different, like turn one play than you've seen in the past, where a lot of times, even on turn one, even if you play a one cast or one cost unit, you're still wanting to, like, if you had the initiative, you'll play that one cost, and even if you got another guy to play, at least half the time you still grab the initiative anyways. Whereas now you maybe not, because you want to get those 2/1 cost out to get you that much closer to your coordinate right away.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. It's going to be cool. Yeah, they did show a little bit of, they showed the box art. We saw the products that are coming out, just our standard booster box, 2-player starter, and the pre-release kit. One thing Josh did say, or not Josh, Jim Cartwright did say at this point that was kind of interesting, was he made a point to mention, in this first year of the game, we wanted to sort of set a baseline and not go too crazy with different products. So he's all like, so once again, it's a booster box, it's a starter decks, it's pre-release. But the way you said that implies they are considering, and here in year two maybe we'll be seeing something more than just this. Maybe instead of 2-player starters, we might see a couple, in the next expansion, it'll be a 3 or 4 different pre-constructed decks like Magic does.
Sure.
It could, and this is just brainstorming based on nothing except conjecture. Maybe with set 4, which we'll talk about in a bit, maybe they come out with a short run Twin Suns pack that comes with maybe some very different precons, maybe, or maybe different pre-constructed whatever number card singleton they want to go for at the time, and then come pack with the necessary components. That might be the delivery system for Twin Suns components.
Yeah.
Pure conjecture.
Yeah, because that is one thing we did see. They did mention during the Game Genic presentation. They mentioned token packs are going to be evergreen. One of the evergreen products that they're always going to be
good segue
producing. But there was no mention of adding Twin Suns tokens to those token packs. Sadly, there was no mention of adding a 3 damage token to those packs, which I really want. My biggest wishes for those token packs: 3 damage token, double-sided printing on them. That would make them perfect. At that point, the some of the third-party tokens have no advantage over them anymore. Why do you make that face when I say double-sided printing?
Because I'm thinking about how that might conflict with their not quality control, but just how it looks on the table. If you're seeing through the acrylic to the other side,
go flip over one of the tokens. You don't see through it that much.
No, but if you I trust you, but that's
a little bit, but
yeah, a little bit. Double-sided printing on those would, I mean, they would have to rebuild.
Sure, the cost goes up.
I'm not saying they wouldn't have to. But I said that's what I want.
Oh,
it would just be nice.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, then don't ask me why I'm making a face. I'm thinking about them. I'm thinking about them and their needs.
Last thing I will say about Twilight of the Republic before we kind of go into the Game Genic stuff. Some of the art spreads they show, of course, have extra art from cards we haven't seen. So, of course,
Yeah.
we can start speculating. There's there's different Rex art. Maybe there's a Rex leader. There's
Aura
what's the
Singh.
bounty hunters? Aura Singh.
Yeah,
There's art of her.
Aura Singh art is really cool. I want.
That's some of the best Aura
Yeah.
Singh art, honestly.
Yeah.
Yeah. She's got like a harpoon gun. There's obviously
Yeah,
like B2 droids. Obviously, we're going to get them. Those are on the side of one of the boxes. There's maybe
You see
Droidica
Anakin and
shield
Todd
or something.
fighting, so that's probably some kind of event or something.
Yeah, that would make sense.
He was saying they were just on the side of the box.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was looking to see if they had a clearer
A
picture.
clearer picture, yeah.
Oh, a cat has joined conflict.
Yeah, so I mean, technically, we do still get to do some artwork speculating thanks to Game Genic, though, too.
Yeah, we do.
But yeah, so we mentioned Game Genic said token packs are going to be evergreen items. Besides the token packs, they did say the deck pods and the double deck pods evergreen. They're always going to have those. The heroism and
Makes sense.
villainy soft boxes, as well as the card back sleeves in the 4 aspect colors. Yes, I know they're lightsaber colors, but they also match the 4 aspects.
They
Yes,
are
they
the
do.
aspects.
Hey,
Yeah.
he wanted to make sure we
Yes.
understood that.
Those are going to be evergreen. The double-sided playmat, or the 2-player playmat, and as well as the Death Star playmat with the play zones on it, which you may have seen Kurt use in some of our videos,
Mhm.
is also considered an evergreen product. So those things, if stores run out, you can expect that at some point they will get reprinted and they will have more. Everything else is, on
Constantly shifting as they get new stuff.
yeah. Basically, they're going to do a print run of this stuff when that set comes out, and then once the set specific playmats and sleeves and stuff run out, they run out.
Yeah, that's good to know. So all like the fancy art sleeves, Luke or Kylo or whatever, those will be essentially not super limited, maybe, but they're not a evergreen product. And
Yeah,
most
they're
of
not
the
going to be around
playmats,
forever.
He said get them while you can.
Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah, because I mean, and that's you can't have every art sleeve that by the time after
As
you
it
get
grows
the
and
set,
grows.
they would have so many that no stores would carry all that.
And same for playmats.
Yeah. They did show off two new sleeves. The of the card back variety, we got the white lightsaber, Ahsoka's like white sabers, and the dark saber style. These are the dark saber looks okay. I'm not a huge fan of the white one myself.
Yeah, they're not as cool as the color ones. They're just kind of black and white, and the two are not that different from each other either. There's like a slightly different glow.
Yeah.
I would have liked to
there's
see
nothing
them
wrong with them, but
do purple, and the dark saber would have been what I was expecting. I was expecting purple to be the color sleeve that we would see with this set. But I was wrong, apparently. So
I was wrong.
they are maybe doing.
Maybe next
They
set.
probably did white and the dark saber to round out the last 2 aspects. To be honest, even though they're not aspect colors, they are.
Yeah, they are. Come on, they are.
Yeah. So we saw, as is expected, we got sleeves matching the 2 starter deck leaders. We got Ahsoka and we got Grievous. Not much to say there other than it's just the art off their cards.
I want to shout out the Ahsoka art because it's not full on Clone Wars style art. It's not trying to be super realistic. It's that nice middle ground that they have talked about before. It's like taking the animation and making it into comic book, but totally
Yeah.
recognizable. I think they knocked it out of the park with this piece, even if it's just, yeah, it's Ahsoka. We know who Ahsoka is, but I think they just the artist knew the assignment on this one.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
it's
think I
great.
feel like every card they showed today, all the art looked great.
Honestly, no duds.
Yeah, in this one,
No
especially
duds.
I really love the Anakin arts. The Anakin, it's got Ahsoka in the background in that one
Yeah.
too. That one I think really looked great. But then we got similar.
Surprise.
Yes, well, not
Well,
so
no,
much.
you're right. Not surprise. Hello there.
Yeah, since they did it, they did the same thing here in the last set where we got 2 bonus art sleeves. Like this last one, we got the showcase arts for Rey and Kylo. In this one, we're getting art of Obi-Wan and Darth Maul, and we can probably guess that it's going to be the showcase art of those 2 characters as well. We don't know, but again, like I said, we can guess that that's
Yeah.
going to be the case.
Yeah, it's just really good art of, I think it's episode 2 Obi-Wan with his lightsaber up.
It's
really nice.
that's Space Jesus Obi-Wan.
And then the Maul art, he's clearly in the Mandalore throne room, I think is what everyone's saying, right?
Yep.
And just cool, like really bright colors, really good pose. Yeah, really good art on both of those.
It's a really nice choice of, like you said, background color on Maul. I think more often than not, we see Maul stuck in a dark background, and his red is against dark. But now we have, very bright red against a very bright yellow.
Yeah. And then we are going to be getting soft crates with all 4 of those pieces of art on them. There'll be one that's going to be Ahsoka and Grievous on the box, and another one's going to have the Obi-Wan and Maul on the box. But otherwise, it's just the same as what we've seen, just new art. New playmats. We've got that battle droid art we mentioned earlier. We've got the Darth Maul art that I believe this is not the art off of his car that we are getting. That's seen in the con exclusive. This is
another different one.
Yeah, again, this is artwork of him on Mandalore. So this is probably the standard version of the art for his leader, and the sleeves and the soft crate are his showcase.
But damn, if this is the standard,
yeah,
holy crap!
It's really high detail, like really, really good.
Yeah,
he's got a really sinister look and pose. Like that is some great art.
Yeah, and then there's a Yoda. It's Yoda. Yeah. He's just standing there with his lightsaber. I don't know. I'm sure there's somebody who's excited about it.
Senate, maybe, or maybe I'm wrong on that.
Yeah, it's
supposed to be standing on a Senate thing.
I don't know if it's supposed to be that.
It's kind of like very bright blue, so maybe it's from some other scene. But yeah, it's Yoda with his lightsaber out. Doesn't look bad at all.
Yeah, no, the art itself is fine. Yeah. It doesn't really excite me personally.
Doesn't pop. Yeah,
but it definitely is. I mean, it's definitely good art. I can see somebody getting excited about it. I'm just not one of those people. What I am, and honestly, this is the one playmat I probably am going to buy. Is they are coming out with a new one with the play zones on it, and it's some speeder bike art.
Oh yeah,
yeah. It's you can see
indoor speeder bike chase.
On one speeder bike and a scout trooper on another.
Luke's hanging on for dear life.
And yeah, the art is sick as hell.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a wild style with these huge, like almost like John Berkey style light streaks, like green and yellow and orange streaks around the like to show the movement through the trees. It's a really crazy style compared to
Yeah,
what we've
it's
seen
and
before, and
it's
like
like
very distorted proportions in a really fun
Yeah.
way too.
yeah, yeah. I know there's gonna be people who are like, it's not photorealistic. This thing
Yeah.
sucks ass, but they.
I think it's really cool. It's really creative.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, this is like for me.
That's art.
It is.
Yeah,
It's art.
yeah.
I poo-pooed some of the art in set 1, and I can't poo-poo this one bit.
Yeah, this is going to be like for sure my playmat purchase from this wave.
But now people are going to be like, "Can we get this without the zones so we can like put it on the
I
wall?"
will say it would be cool to have 2 editions of this one without the zones. But I do kind of like to have the zones. I think just for like when we stream and stuff like that.
Yeah.
It's a good one for it's going to be a good one for that. Plus, it's really bright, and the cards will stand out against them really well. You know,
very good
for
point.
streaming and stuff.
And of course, we can speculate about what cards all these playmats go with.
Yeah.
Like, obviously, it's a Clone Wars set, but as we've seen with the other sets, there's always like a few cards that aren't 100% match for the theme because they don't need to be 100% fit.
Yeah, there's always going to be some other stuff, like clearly the speeder bike. It's not really fits in the Twilight of the Republic theme, but who cares? That's cool art.
Mm-hmm.
But you know, it's so far we've only seen starter deck stuff. So the starter deck stuff is usually always on theme. So it's going to be a little while before we see anything because this comes out in November
8th.
So we're probably still like at least a month and a half out from before much for spoilers really starts.
Yeah,
for
makes sense.
And so once Game Genic was done, we did have one more Star Wars announcement, and that was a thing I think most people were expecting at this point, and that's to find out the names of the next 3 sets of the game
For 2025.
Yes, all coming in 2025.
They're shooting for, they could have issues, but they're shooting for the same month release windows as we had this year.
Yeah, so March, July, and November. So March 2025, we should be seeing Jump to Lightspeed, which is going to be our Star Wars Galaxies MMO themed expansion.
Because why else would they use the exact same name? It's got to be what it is.
The exact same name. That's all it can be. Personally, I'm looking forward to playing like the master dancer upgrade on my character to give him some really good dancing skills.
Is this when everybody became a Jedi? Or was that before?
No, that was after this.
Oh, that was okay. So that's in Legends of the Force when everyone becomes a Jedi.
Yeah, no, at this point in Star Wars Galaxy history, it was you still had to master like 5 random professions before you could make a Jedi. So yeah,
it's obviously like it's obviously a more space themed set. There is an X-wing in the logo.
Yes. The logo is really cool. Honestly,
X-wing's confirmed in Star Wars.
Yes. Of the 6 logos, Jump to Lightspeed's my favorite logo of the 6. It looks really cool.
Do you think is it a T65 X-wing or a T70? What do you think?
It's a Z95.
Que no los dos.
Ooh, yeah, sort of a fake. I could see that.
But yes, let's switch. let's do
It's a B-wing.
completely baseless predictions. My prediction is
Yes.
we finally see space leaders in this set.
I was gonna say the same thing.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, the leader that deploys as a space unit. Um, so that's my main prediction. Obviously, it's almost definitely going to be very space unit heavy. This particular set, and I'm guessing a lot of the ground units we'll see are going to somehow buff vehicles or capital ships or
Yeah,
something like that.
play with those in some interesting way. I think we'll also see space creatures like space slugs and purgils and stuff, because I
Purgles?
don't think we
Yeah.
have any space creatures yet. So
Mhm.
that would be
No.
cool.
No.
Ooh, put a Minoc upgrade on the enemy ship.
Honestly, yeah.
That would, yeah.
An
Deploy
upgrade
the Exogarth and then
unit.
give all enemy ships in the
Ooh, in the
lane
arena.
a Minoc token.
There you go.
Maybe we'll even see like asteroids that's like not a unit, but some sort of space hazard. I don't know. Who knows? Could be
I could
anything.
see that as like an event,
Oh yeah.
For sure, for sure.
I don't know if we would necessarily see it as like an upgrade or something that deploys on the battlefield, but definitely is like some sort of event or
Oh.
something.
What if it was some type of sentinel? Anyway.
Yeah, so then July we've got Legends of the Force. Now this is the set that has everybody crapping their pants right now. Because number one, it's got the word legends in it. Which has, obviously in the English language has a meaning, but in context of Star Wars has meanings too.
A very specific meaning.
And there is also the fact, maybe people are reading into that too much. The font is like the same font as you see in like all the Legends lines of novels and comic reprints and things like that.
Confirmed.
Yes, take
How
But-
much salt should people be taking with this?
I would say,
A spoonful?
I wouldn't be surprised if we see some Legends characters in this set. I mean, let's just say that.
Yeah, I think so.
I feel
'Cause
like
even when we talked to them at the community celebration, I remember one of the designers mentioning it, that like hypothetically anything could be on the table eventually, because it is unlimited. So
Yeah.
they're not like intentionally limiting themselves to that. But yeah, I don't know if they would do a whole set that's just legend stuff.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to
you
be just Legends. I mean, Legends of the Force could also be High Republic stuff.
Yeah.
It could just
Yeah.
be other Jedi in general.
Mhm.
But I think it might open the door for some Legends Force users and things like that. I feel like for Fantasy Flight to name the expansion this and then not have Legends characters in it would be, I think, they would almost have to be willfully trying to mess with people. Okay?
Yeah.
I can't see, and I don't think, I can't see them actually doing that, because, I mean, they would have to know that people would there's going to be a portion of the fan base that would be pissed as hell if this is the name and then they're like, LOL, there's no Legends in this. So yeah, yeah, it's not going to be an entire set. I don't think. I think the people who think that this is going to be the all KOTOR, all Kyle Katarn, all Mara Jade set.
Yeah, certainly not that. But as we were walking out, I said, I did say it could be High Republic as the primary theme, and then as a sneaky little treat, what if they did slip a little Revan in there for us? I wouldn't complain about that. That'd be pretty good. Because SWOTOR and KOTOR are actual factual until they're overwritten.
No, they're actual factual, not canon.
That's not what they've said.
Well, that's who said that.
Well, now I got to go back and try to track it down. You just don't believe me?
I know, because they're not.
They have said, yeah, it's canon until it's not.
I think it's the opposite. It's canon, and it's not canon until they say it is.
Yeah.
Now they've been recanonizing a lot of stuff, and it ends up being very similar to what it already was. But you can't assume.
When Revan got mentioned in that one Rise of the Skywalker book, he got name dropped in that book because people are like, oh my god, Revan's actually canon again now.
Okay, well, you can settle down and don't get riled up.
I'm not getting riled up.
Go take your medicine. We'll be all right.
I'm just trying to make sure that you're not spreading misinformation on our channel.
Well, that's as far as I was aware, that was where it was, because I know that they had said that before in the past. They being Lucasfilm Limited representatives. It was said. It was said.
Anyways,
you can be mad about it all you want.
I mean, I'm not being mad about it.
You're being
we're
mad.
not here to debate canon at this point.
Okay, be mad.
Quick, pull up the Wikipedia article. Is anything in KOTOR canon?
It doesn't matter. Do you want to continue, or do you need a minute?
Do you
want to continue? You both seem to really care.
I will be the middle. At me in my own home.
I'll be the Bendu of this conversation. I'll be the one in the middle and not take any side on canon. We'll move on. What was this? What was the sixth?
Yeah, what's the sixth one, Leo? I'll just stop talking.
Secrets of Power.
It's called Secrets of Power, which could mean a lot of things.
Yeah, it definitely feels Sithy, like that name.
Mm-hmm.
Also, that logo gives me like Shadows of the Empire vibes, I mean, maybe it's because my brain was primed for it with the word legends, right before this, but, But yeah, I feel like, this is, and then, I'm all like, oh yeah. So my brain sort of went like, this logo reminds me of Shadows of the Empire. And then I was like, Secrets of Power sounds like Sith stuff. And then I was all like, there was a Mysteries of the Sith expansion for Jedi Knight with Mara Jade.
Well, you got a purple lightsaber
expansion.
But what's interesting is that it doesn't call out Sith in the name, so it could be anything else. Like you said, Shadows of the Empire is all about the struggle of power and secrets.
For sure, the guys
could be about
everything with
criminal organizations. It could be about Palpatine stuff and Order 66 type conspiracy stuff. Hard to say. The one thing we do know is that Tyler Parrott, lead designer, whatever his exact title is, he did tweet out about it. I don't think you guys can fathom how excited I am for Secrets of Power. It's my passion project. I pitched a specific vision and was given the opportunity to lead design a set that captures the feeling of, well, that'd be a spoiler. I'm so proud of how it turned out. So that obviously doesn't really give us any details, but
you're going to say, I can't.
He's saying it's cool and wild, and it is a specific theme, even if we can't quite discern what it is yet. But
purple.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it definitely does sound Sithy. Secrets and power. We know, it could be about what's the quote from the Acolyte? It's about power and who's allowed to wield it. Who knows? I don't know if they had access to any Acolyte stuff when they were working on this, because this is one, they're working pretty far ahead on these sets. But maybe some of the stuff ends up being Acolyte stuff by the time it comes out. I don't know. Could be cool, though. That's over a year away. That's next November.
Yeah, we're not even to this November yet.
Yeah. So, it's a long wait. But, yeah, it's definitely something to look forward to. I mean, and we know for sure. I mean, we know they've confirmed there's at least 3 more sets beyond this that had started development, but that was, you know, way back in like February or so, or maybe even before that. So I mean, at this point, there's, you know, they're probably looking at, you know, starting work on like set 12 early development. So fingers crossed it keeps going like that. You know, so we do actually get to see whatever they might have in store that far down the road.
Oh, one thing that we didn't mention that Jim wanted to emphasize were the upcoming waves of product for sets 1 and 2. One slated for still, was it still Christmas? Was that it? Is that what he said?
For
Waves
Restocks.
of one restock.
no,
waves.
so he said,
Reprints.
so he said, well, he said that the restock, you know, of set 1 is still, you know, sometime before the holidays. Like they said set 2, we should be expecting stores should be expecting another big wave of stuff early here this fall. So whatever early fall might mean, I don't know. Is it going to be, you know, is it September? Is that October?
Mm-hmm.
Don't know exactly, but there is more set 2 on the way to stores.
So at a minimum, if we were to just make a guess and say October for a set 2 wave of product, and then November for Twilight, and then holiday, so December-ish, more set 1. That's a very full calendar Q4.
Yeah.
So put it on your Christmas lists, and you'll have lots of stockings full of draft sets.
Yeah, we were just talking about how it'd be interesting to, you know, get at that point once they're all in stock again, get, you know, a pack of all 3 and do like a draft with 1 pack of each. I don't know how well it would draft, just because you know, each set kind of has their own mechanics, but it could still be fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, it could be very interesting just to figure out how to do that.
You might have to,
because right now, in like a standard sealed or draft, you're not mixing sets at all currently. So that would be just a very different types of decks you would get.
Yeah, yeah, you draft very differently, because it's like, oh, okay, maybe I'll get a draft for bounty, but only this pack we're passing around will have any cards with bounty in it. Although I wouldn't be surprised if we see some of the
a sprinkle in future.
Well, I mean, sets. We've already seen you know, we are for sure getting an Aura Sing card.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe we'll get like a young Boba. Some of the other, you know, a couple of the other Clone Wars bounty hunters that we have not seen yet. And you know, there can be some bounty cards with those as well. So
put a bounty on Chancellor Palpatine. That'd be pretty sweet. Well, in fact, I mean, just thinking about all the keywords in set 1, like tons of Underworld in set 1.
Well, traits, you mean?
Traits.
Yeah.
Yes. So the Underworld trait.
Yes.
Trait. That didn't have a lot of play off of the trait itself, but there were a lot of them, as I recall.
Yeah. Yeah,
and so
there was
now
a lot of cunning cards and stuff with the Underworld trait.
Yeah, so now in set 2, we finally have more that can play off of each other in that. So you just got to be, I would say, just more selective about who your leader is, to be, and then go from there. Because you could do a Cad Bane with a whole bunch of stuff from set 1 very easily. But that's a discussion for another day.
Yeah, yeah. We'll see once Twilight's more fully spoiled. Man, I'm excited for Twilight spoilers. Like I said, we've got an interview with John Leo tomorrow, right?
Yep.
Yes, tomorrow. I don't think we're not going to be able to get him to spoil any more about Twilight Republic for us, but we'll hopefully can maybe squeeze in at least a question or two about what to look forward to with that set.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was a great first day. Great in-flight report.
Yes. Oh, that was just day one.
Yeah.
Oh gosh.
So we got 2 more days to go still. 3 more days. Yeah,
Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Yep, 3 more days. Jeez.
We haven't even played Unlimited yet.
Yeah.
We've got 3 of those minimum.
Yep, that'll be our first thing tomorrow, 9 a.m. Playing sealed. Is it sealed or draft tomorrow?
Tomorrow's draft.
Okay, we'll be drafting Shadows tomorrow.
Woohoo!
Nice.
So,
Cool.
All
Yeah.
right.
thanks for coming on, talking with us, Kurt.
Yeah. Thanks, Kurt.
Yeah, thank you. Thanks for being our boots on the ground, live on the street.
It's hard work, but somebody's got to do it.
Yeah. He has to put up with me yelling at him
It's
about
my pleasure. I know how you feel about cannons. All right.
Yes, I'm a very big fan of the 1812 overture.
Yeah, and Arsenal. Now I'm just thinking about putting my Twin Suns deck together because I still got to do that for Sunday. Okay, we'll leave it at that for now. If there's any more emergencies, you can certainly expect to hear from us. We've already spoiled a little bit of our day 0 video. Ooh, are we going to do a day 1 video? This is probably the day 1 video.
This is the day 1.
All right.
So.
Yeah.
Congratulations. You've gotten yourself a video. We'll talk with everyone later. Kurt, obviously, we'll be in touch with you to ask you to do more things for us.
Yes.
All right. Thank you and good night.
Bye.